I'm Robin. I'm a youth librarian at the Westerville Public Library, and I'm here today to tell you about some of my favorite nonfiction books. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? Do you have a dream? If you could do anything or go anywhere, what would you do? It can be inspiring to read about people who have followed their dreams, even when it seemed almost impossible that they could come true. One of my favorite people to read about is Jane Goodall, and you can read more about her in this book. It's called Untamed, The Wild Life of Jane Goodall by Anita Silvey. Jane Goodall was born in London, England in 1934. She loved animals as a child, as many of you might also. She remembers reading books like Dr. Dolittle, The Jungle Book, and Tarzan, books which explore the relationship between people and animals. In the Tarzan books, there is a character named Jane, and Jane Goodall dreamed of going to Africa after reading these books. Jane loved nature and the outdoors, climbing trees and that sort of thing. When she was 12, she created her own club, the Alligator Society. She wrote the magazine with games and puzzles and articles and badges, just like badges that you get in scouting today. After graduating from high school, Jane wasn't sure what she wanted to do, but she still dreamed of going to Africa. She had a school friend who lived in Kenya, and Jane worked as a waitress to save money to visit her. While there, Jane went to work at a museum for the famous archaeologist Louis Leakey. He told Jane about the need to study chimpanzees and their natural habitat. Jane really wanted to do this research, but the authorities didn't want a young girl to be out in the remote lands alone. So her mother agreed to go with her, and thus Jane was able to follow her dream to study chimpanzees in their natural habitat at the Gombe Reserve in Tanzania. Even though there were lots of difficulties, beginning with finding the chimpanzees and then fighting malaria, Jane was able to follow her dreams. Jane's work continues today, though more focused on the area of conservation. Her example and her work can inspire all of us. In the foreword to Untamed, Jane writes, "Remember, your life is important. You make a difference every single day. And you get to choose what sort of difference you want to make. What will you choose to do?" If you enjoyed Untamed, you might also like reading Primates, The Fearless Science of Jane Goodall, Diane Fossey, and Baruti Galdikas by Jim Ottaviani. Now you know already that Jane Goodall studied chimpanzees, Diane Fossey studied gorillas in Africa, and Baruti Galdikas studied orangutans in Indonesia. Another neat thing about this book is that it is a graphic novel, but it is nonfiction, and it tells the story of these three women scientists. You might be more of a gorilla person, so you might enjoy exploring Gorillas Up Close by Christina Nibber-Ing. Or if you're just more of an animal lover in general, you might like Bridge to the Wild, Behind the Scenes at the Zoo by Caitlin O'Connell, in which she describes how zoos create their habitats for the animals. Happy reading!